Hello, everyone, and welcome to College Week Live with NC State University. Today, we're going to be talking about student life, but before I want to tell you a little bit more about myself. My name is Brittany Garcia. I'm a senior here in International Studies with a concentration in International Relations and minors in Anthropology and English. Um, I work with the admissions office as an intern, and I'm also university ambassador. I also work with the athletics department as an athletics ambassador for football, which makes me a student recruiter. I'm also a part of Greek Life and Lambda Pi Chi Sorority Incorporated, and a lot of other little things I do on campus. But those are my main involvements. And I want to tell you a little bit more about student life here in Raleigh, in Raleigh in general, what's outside of campus. And we'll talk about housing, dining, and things like that. And if you have any questions, we'll leave some room at the end for questions, and I'll let you know when you can ask those. So, first of all, we're going to cover Raleigh. So, as you know, Raleigh is the capital of North Carolina, and there's honestly everything within a 5-minute radius. You have museums, you have sports, shopping. One of my favorite museums is actually North Carolina Museum of Art is here. And a few weeks ago, they actually had a film festival that you could go every Friday. They had a film playing, and it was great. And another one of my favorite ones is the Museum of Natural Sciences. I've been to that one so many times, and I love it every time. I never get bored. They also have different events throughout the year where people can actually do community service through them. I participated in Bug Fest, which is little kids came and they learned about bugs, and we got to play with them and do little different crafts. So there's so many ways to get involved outside. That's downtown. We also have one big thing called First Friday, and every Friday, first Friday of every month, they have like a mini festival in downtown. They close some of the roads. They have some of the vendors, have their T-shirts out there. A lot of people that have products on Etsy are out there too, so it's really cool. And you get to see different performances. Like I saw people with the fire hula hoops and things like that. So it was really cool. I tend to try to go to those every week. Every other month, every month really. So in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina is also home to the Research Triangle Park. So for a lot of students interested in engineering, that's also like one of the biggest things to attract them to Raleigh. We also have North Carolina State University, which is a little world on itself. We have main campus, which is composed of, where you take your classes and also where a lot of people live. So you have, Tally Student Union, you have Reynolds Coliseum and things like that. But we also have Centennial Campus, which is mostly housing for engineering and textiles. So that's a few miles down the road, not too far, it's walkable. But we also have the College of Veterinary Science. That one I do not recommend walking. A car definitely helps. And that houses our hospital that we have, our animal hospital, as well as the College of Veterinary Science. And we also have Carter Finley down the road, as well as PNC Arena, and those house the football department and the basketball department, as well as the Carolina Hurricanes. However, a lot of things go on at the PNC Arena. I've seen concerts there. I've seen the World Toughest Rodeo came out one day, and so I went to go see it. It was fun. So those are some of the things that we see here in Raleigh. There's also different towns nearby. You have Chapel Hill, you have Carborough, a lot of music venues, and you also have the beach an hour and a half down the road, and the mountains about 3 hours or so down the road. So everything's pretty much in close proximity. I love the area here. I'm a small town girl, so it's small enough for me to feel like I'm still at home, but not. It's big enough for me to find so many things to do and go shopping places. So it's always been fun to live here. So one of the first things we're going to cover is housing. So on-campus housing is we have different styles and different types of things for different people. So we have some of our major ones are hall style, which is everybody from like females live in one hall and males live in the other, but all females share one bathroom and all males share their bathroom. The bathrooms get cleaned several times during the day, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's really cool. Well, from what I hear, I've never lived in a hall dorm, but from what I hear, a lot of the students, sometimes just leave the door open and they get to meet people from all over the hall, and that's how you really make friends. We have Tucker and Owen Beach in between some of these residence halls. And Tucker and Owen Beach is a place where we play beach volleyball. A lot of people have barbecues, and every year they have a competition of who the beach is going to be named after. So the halls are Tucker and Owen. So they pretty much challenge each other. And then the beach is named that year for whoever wins. So sometimes it's Tucker Beach, sometimes it's Owen Beach, and sometimes it's just Tucker Owen Beach. So that's Hall Style Live. We also have Suite Styles that are right in proximity, right in front of the Hall Style ones. And this is where you share your room with another person, but you also share your bathroom with at least four other rooms. So you're sharing it with more people, and you have to take care, of your own cleaning there. Nobody comes in and cleans for you, but at the same time, you get to be really close to all your suite mates and your roommate. So it's really cool. We also have hotel renovated style, and that is you share your room with another person, but you also just share one bathroom together and you take care of all the cleaning. Those are on the outskirts of campus, so pretty much you walk across the street and you'll be there, but it's not in the middle of campus. We also have for 21 and over, or sometimes 20 and over, depends on your junior or senior status. We have apartments. So we have Wolf Ridge and we have Wolf Village. Wolf Ridge is located on Centennial campus, and those are one of the newest apartments that we have. And Wolf Village is located on main campus, but it's also towards the outskirts of campus. So if you're looking to live, more apartment style life, that is the perfect spot for you. A lot of my friends actually live there and they seem to like it. There's also study rooms in all of these places. Although you don't get Wi-Fi in your room unless you actually bring a router, you can connect it to an Ethernet cord, or you can just go to the study lounge down at the end of each hall and there's Wi-Fi there. Other than that, the whole rest of our campus has Wi-Fi, even Court of Carolina, which is right, outside of the 1911 building. It's a huge court. That's sometimes where we have our snowfall fight. But during weather when it's really nice, like nowadays, people just go outside and lay out there with their computers, with their laptops, everything. It's really nice. Another thing that we have are living learning villages. So if you have more specific interest, say one of my favorites is the international village. You get paired up with an international student and you learn more about each other's culture while also attending different international events. And you get to be really close to all the people that live in the building. And there's also other ones like Women in Science and Engineering. There's a one that advocates for youth, and they do a lot of community service. So it really depends on what you like. We also have some people that like art. So they do, a program, or they live with people that also love art and they want to do more. They're interested in that as well, and they get to do other trips like to the Museum of Arts and things like that. So if you're looking into something more specific, those are definitely really cool. So one of the things about, people worry about here on campus is, am I going to be safe? Am I going to be worried that I'm not going to be safe? To be honest, I've never had that problem. One of the really cool things about North Carolina State University is that we have our own police department here on campus just for NC State, but they work really well with Raleigh PD to make sure that all of our needs are met. You'll see them around in horses, cars, bikes, segways. You see them around all the time, which really helps to, feel safe here on campus. But we also have something called Wolf Alerts. So if anything happens on the other side of campus and I'm not there to see it, you get either a text or an email about it to make sure that you know what's going on. And those have been really helpful in the past. And this is, with anything that could happen, they let us know. We also have a big intercom system that in case of a big emergency, they pretty much announce everything there. They get tested once a month, so we know it works. We got tested last week, and sometimes it seems as if they're calling you on Hunger Games. Not gonna lie, but it's really cool to just hear it being tested out. We also have something called Campus Escort. So sometimes, as students, we have to go to the library really late to study. And if you don't want to walk back to your residence hall alone, it's okay. You don't have to. You can call the campus escort number and they take care of it for you. They come pick you up. One of my friends actually had to jumpstart her car one day, and they came and brought her cables and everything. So they're really helpful here when it comes to safety. You never have to, be afraid. We have emergency blue lights in case you need anything on point. You just press the button, and somebody can reach you. So it's really cool to have that, right away. Another thing we have that is a really cool thing here is transportation. We have our own transportation system called the Wolf Line, which is what I use the most because there's a Wolf Line stop right in front of where I live. So I just get on the bus, come to school, and get on the bus and go back home. So it has been really, really handy. It goes through different parts of Raleigh, not just on campus. It goes downtown. It goes to Carter Finley during games and things like that. So you're not just on campus. And it also goes to Centennial campus for the students that have engineering classes. But besides that, we also have students here have an ability to get a pass that gets you on the CAT and the Triangle Transit, which is the public transportation systems here in Raleigh. So either way, you won't be stranded out in the middle of nowhere. There's a way to get transportation. Cars are definitely allowed on campus. You can bring them. If you do want to park on campus, you will need permits if you don't want to pay. And permits work depending on how on your senior status. So for seniors, get better parking in the Coliseum decks, there's two big Coliseum decks located on main campus. But other than that, I know a lot of residents that live on campus get their RE passes for residents, and those are pretty, in close proximity to a lot of things. We also have West Deck, and Centennial Deck, so it's hard to run out of, parking spots. So you will always find parking on campus, but if you have the ability to use the Wolf Line, I definitely recommend it. And it's cheaper. One of the really cool things is that we also have zip cars. So if you need to go somewhere for the weekend and you don't have a car on campus, you can actually rent one, and you get charged. I think it's just for gas. You fill it up, so it's really cool. I know a lot of times you can't, rent cars because we're not 25, but with this you can, so it's really cool. Other than that, yeah, transportation is pretty safe. After 5, you can park anywhere on campus, literally anywhere, except in the part that says 24-hour towing. Don't want to do that. But other than that, every time I have meetings and I have a lot after 5, I usually just do that. So now we're going to talk a little bit about food. Who doesn't love food? Because I do. So we have several dining halls on campus, and these halls are designed in buffet style. So you go in there, you get a choice of a lot of things. You have salad bar, fruit bar. Every day is a different thing, and I'm a vegetarian. I always find something to eat. They have vegan options, vegetarian options, so it's really good for pretty almost anyone. But we also have meal plans that people can buy if you don't just want to go and pay. And meal plans range from anything from the Freedom Pass, which you can eat anytime during the day as long as there's a 30-minute interval between. But you can eat as many times as you like. And then we also have other plans that are like 10 meals per week, 15 meals per week. And for me, as a transfer student, I don't live on campus anymore. I didn't really see the need to get, a Freedom Pass. I didn't really see the need to get a lot of meals. So I focused more on smaller meals. If I needed to eat, then cool. There's also Hillsboro, so I tend to eat a lot there. There's a lot of places to eat there, like Chipotle, pizza, Subway, so things like that. So it's great. And we also have something called Dining Dollar. So if you don't want to buy a specific meal plan and you just want to put money on your card, we all get a Wolfpack One card, and it works as a credit card as well as for your meal plan. But you can get dining dollars, and you can use those in the vending machines. You can use those at the dining halls and at the other places to eat like that we have, such as the Oval. We have the Atrium and Tally Student Union. And these places have different types of food. We have the Atrium houses Chick-fil-A, an Asian bistro, a pizza place, a wraps and salads place. So if you want something else, other than dining hall food, you can definitely do that. And then Tally Student Union has Jason's Deli, Tuffy's Diner, Pizza, Los Lobos, which is kind of like a mix between Moe's and Chipotle. And one of my favorites that they just opened is called One Earth, and they have food from different places around the world. Mediterranean, they have sushi, they have a little bit of everything. I've been going there a lot lately. And then the Oval is located on Centennial campus. They have really good pizza, and they have a lot of pastries too. They're so good. But they also have burgers, and they also have a wrap station. And the food there, I've been there like twice now, and it's really, really good. So you can use your meal plan at all of these locations, including the creamery. And if you have not had the ice cream from NC State, the Howling Cow ice cream, you need to try it because it's one of the best. We make it here at the school ourselves. Well, the food science department, not me, but it's delicious, and they come up with different kinds, every year. And the chancellor always chooses his favorite, so it gets named after whatever he wants. So it's really cool to see that happen. And other than that, like I said, there's places to eat on Hillsborough. I tend to do that sometimes, but there's also something called C stores. So if you just want cookies on the go or something like that, these are convenience stores that you can also use that card at. And you can get coffee there, you can get, water and anything you need. They have a little bit of everything as well. So one of my favorite topics that is next is campus activities. So as a transfer student, I came here and I was just like, it's gonna be up to me to really get involved because I was a junior when I got here, or sophomore really. Um, and I was just like, I don't know anybody, so I'm pretty much, having to start from scratch. That's okay. It gives me more opportunity to meet people. So I put myself out there. I got really involved. As you can see, I'm a university ambassador, which has been one of my favorite things. But there's so many different ways to get involved. We have athletics, everything from football to soccer to tennis to rowing. We have a rowing club. So pretty much anything you can think of, we have it. For some of our sports, we do have, our Division I sports, like most of our varsity sports, really. And I'm sure you've seen some of our games on TV, so that's really cool. Some of our students are on TV as well. I actually work with the football department as a student recruiter, and I love it. I get to go to the games, with the families and my recruits, and I get to work closely with the coaches. So I get to, be in close proximity to that and meet a lot of really cool people that will help me later in life. But besides athletics and our awesome, student Wolfpack fan club here, we were actually named one of the craziest, which is a little true, but it's great. The sea of red that you see when you come into a football stadium doesn't match anything else you'll ever see in life. But besides that, we also have, a lot of clubs and organizations that students can get involved with. We have over 500 different organizations, and if you don't see anything you like, you can actually just start your own. Which a lot of my friends have started their own club. One of my sorority sisters started the ASL club, which is really cool. And you can say that you actually, were a part of that. But you can get involved with anything from religious organizations to I've been involved with International Studies Club, with Mi Familia, which is for Hispanic students, and it's welcome. It welcomes everyone though, and everything from that to we have a Disney club. So trust me, there's something for everyone. And another way to get involved is through Greek life. I'm actually, I was the president of my sorority last year, and it gives you so much experience that you probably would not have thought you would have gotten from Greek life. There's that stigmatism that all we do is party, but honestly, like there's a program that we have to do here through the Greek Life Office called the Standards Program, and they make sure that we are doing educational programming. Community service hours have gone up to like 66,000 since we started this program, and that's hours, in a year that we all contribute. Students are also required to have different positions outside of just Greek life, so they make sure that you're very involved in the school community as well. And through Greek life, like I've said, I've gotten an amazing experience. I've been, the president, the vice president. I'm currently treasurer right now. And as I've in the past few, I'm graduating, in a few months. And the past few weeks, I've had several interviews, and the first thing that they do is ask me, "So what did you do as president? What did you do as treasurer? Like, tell us, how it was, what obstacles you had to deal with." And I have so many stories that I can actually share. So Greek life has been an amazing part of my life here at NC State. I definitely, recommend it for those trying to find, something more of a close community for them. I never thought I would see myself in being in a sorority, but here I am, and I love it. We also have, besides, our big athletic sports, we also have intramural and club sports. And these are more I guess a little less competitive, but still competitive. Trust me. Our club sports, we have everything, and they still travel a lot. One of my sisters was the president of her soccer team, and she got to go, to Chapel Hill, to Clemson, to play with different people. You do have to pay dues for some of those, but you can contact, the people if you are interested. For intramural sports, it's a little more just like a group of friends. You get together and you want to play sport and you go do it. So it's a little more lenient, you could say, but people still take it pretty seriously around here. You can do anything from soccer to frisbee golf. People do that a lot here. I've never tried it though. So there's different ways to get involved in intramural sports, definitely. Community involvement is so simple here at NC State because you can pretty much get involved through anything. With part of CSLEPs, which is our service, one of our main service places here on campus, they offer so many opportunities through Stop Hunger Now, which is a meal packaging event which gets sent abroad. Alternative Spring Break, which is during spring break you take spring break to go do service somewhere else, here in the United States or abroad. I've been to Guatemala 2 years with Alternative Spring Break. My first year as a participant, and I loved it so much that I went back as a team leader the next year. And that also, gave me a lot of really good experience. I had to manage a budget of $16,000. I was like 20 years old, and I'm like managing this budget. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And the advisors are so helpful. They're like with you every step of the way. I led a team of 20 people abroad internationally. So it was really cool. You get that really hands-on experience. There's also different ways to get involved through mentoring, through different schools here that you can actually go and be with a student, or pen pal if you don't have the time, to actually go mentor somewhere else. So there's definitely lots of ways to get involved. So that, being bored is not a word here. It's not an option. Like there's no possible way to be bored at all. So next we have academics. Surprise, surprise, we do academics here as students as well. So we have different colleges. My major is international studies, so I am part of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and that houses everything from sociology to history to political science to anthropology. So all my favorite subjects. But we also have, the College of Management, which houses everything business administration, marketing, economics, supply chain management, and things like that. We have College of Natural Resources, College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, the College of Science, the College of Design, the College of Engineering. So your focus is mostly, with those colleges, but we all work with each other, to be honest. A lot of us, well, some of the people that I know major in different colleges. We have Alexander Hamilton scholars with major in business and in international studies. So you have 2 degrees by the time you're done, and a lot of experience. And that is perfect because for my major as an international studies major, I have to study abroad in order to graduate. So it kind of like pushes you outside your boundaries, lets you try new things. So last summer I went to Thailand for 5 weeks with the study abroad program, and then I loved it so much that I stayed an extra month on my own. So I was there for quite a while, and it was an anthropology program, and I got to visit so many different temples, so many different markets. Everything's so much cheaper there. I loved it, and I got to ride an elephant, which was really cool. And another way to get involved through that is that if you want to go through your specific college, you can. My friend is in the College of Engineering. He's actually going to Spain to take Spanish classes and engineering courses. So you don't get set back at all. Don't let that be something that you're like, oh, I'm not going to graduate on time. Not at all. The school works with you to make sure that it happens, and your advisor definitely helps a lot there. And one of the really cool things is that financial aid, if you decide to go for a semester or a year, financial aid is the same as you would pay here. So whatever your financial aid covers here, they'll cover there. So it's affordable, and it's something I definitely encourage. You can go for a summer too, like I did, if you don't want to go for a whole semester or a year. But if that's not really your thing, if you don't really want to travel, although I definitely encourage it, there's also other ways to get involved through undergraduate research or internships and co-op opportunities. So every teacher here does some type of research, and usually they announce it at the beginning of every class. So if it's something that you would want to get involved with, you can definitely go up to them and talk to them and be like, hey, I'm interested in doing this, or I'm interested in this other thing. Could you point me in the right direction? And they are so willing to help. I have a lot of friends that have been doing research in so many different topics. One of my friends just got back from Hawaii, all paid trip. She went to present there. So a lot of my friends have presented at symposiums. I didn't really do undergraduate research just because I was more focused on just traveling, but with undergraduate research, you can actually do both, which is really cool. Um, but a lot of my friends that are in the sciences, they tend to do a lot of research. So it helps them get that experience. And by the time they're done, they can actually talk about what they've done. And then with internships, your advisor helps you a lot with that as well to find internships here on campus, outside of campus. I've had friends do internships in law firms, marketing firms, a little bit of everything around the Raleigh area. And co-ops are really cool too because you get to take some time off of school, you get credit for it, and you get paid for it, but you're somewhere else. My friend right now, I have a friend that's in Tennessee doing a co-op. He's an electrical engineer. So he's doing a co-op with Eastman, and by the time he's done, he's going to have a year worth of experience, which is what a lot of people look in, when they're looking to hire people. So that has helped him a lot. And you get to go to different places, not just here. If you want to do an internship abroad, I had a friend that went to Colombia for one summer, and he's an economics major, so it was really cool because he got the international experience, and he got to use his Spanish speaking language skills, and he got the actual study abroad experience. So you can find your place in a lot of different sectors here, not just through campus activities or through academics, but just if you put yourself in a little bit of everything, guarantees that you'll be very well rounded, very well experienced by the time you're actually doing interviews. I know my experiences here have helped me a lot. But other than that, let's begin with questions. So if you have questions, make sure that you put them there in the box. I'll be looking to see if anyone has any. But other than that, I'll just share a little bit more about myself. So I did go to community college and then came here. I used to be a business major, so I completely switched. And I love it, to be honest. I've taken a lot of political science courses, which some of them have been really tough, but they've helped me think outside the box in a more critical way. So I've definitely been thankful for them. Some of my teachers have been really good too. And yeah, don't forget that your question, nobody else sees them, just me. So don't be afraid to ask anything at all. That's what I'm here for, to answer. I know I had a lot of questions, before I even got to campus. So if there's any way we can help you with that, don't be shy. And that's like one of my the main advice I give people: don't be shy once you're in college. You cannot be shy. It's the way you meet people. It's the way you get involved, and it's also the way like you get these opportunities available to you. People don't just come and be like, here's this opportunity, you should apply for it. Your advisor does that sometimes, but other than that, you have to kind of like take initiative, put yourself out there, and be willing to just find things out for yourself, be willing to explore. So I mean, college is awesome. That's one of the coolest things. It helps you grow, it helps you find who you really are. That's one of the main things I've loved about it. So yeah, don't be shy with questions, with anything. I've been here for a couple of years now, so I'm technically a pro. Just kidding. I'm still learning. Every day I learn something new about the school. Um, but just as a let me put the next slide up for questions. Just as a reminder, don't forget to like us on Facebook, because we actually put a lot there that you can read about student life and different things going on campus. And follow us on Twitter. You can follow NCSU Admissions, or you can follow me personally at NCSU_Brittany, and that's BRITTNEY. I post a lot about my student life on there as well, with pictures sometimes, so you can see everything that goes on here. And we also have blogs that we do to tell you a little bit more about us and the different things that you can do on campus. I know I wrote a blog about Valentine's, be my Valentine for under 20 bucks. So sometimes as a college student, you're broke. We all admit it. It's okay. It happens. So sometimes you want to do fun stuff for either free or, a little bit of money. There's so much to do on here, on NC State and in Raleigh in general. There's so many festivals that happen here. International Festival happens once a year. And there's always food, free food, yes. There's food and different things that people can see. So it's never boring, never a dull moment. And sometimes I travel a lot during the weekends. So I'll go to the mountains or to the beach. So since everything's in close proximity, it's been awesome. So yeah, we don't have any questions about anything. I'm not shy. Don't worry. I'll answer anything at all. One of the things I guess I'll mention that a lot of people do worry about sometimes is like the change of smaller classes to bigger classrooms. Um, and yes, it happens sometimes, especially with the general education courses. We have some classes that are up to 300 students. But even then, you do have teacher assistants that help a lot with this. So you have that smaller class feel, and your professors have office hours. So definitely encouraging for people to visit them and tell them what's going on if you're struggling with anything like that. But a lot of times, my classes now are from the biggest one is probably around 50 students, and the smallest class can be about 10. One time I had a class with 6 students. Yeah, it happens. It was a very small class. We all got to know each other really well, and it really depends, on your major. The further you get into your major, sometimes the more concentrated your classes become, and the less people you have in them. So it's really good. So you still get that small classroom feel. Our average class is actually 35 students, so it's not too big. And our teacher to student ratio is 17 to 1. So, like I said, even though it's a big school, you have the opportunity to make it feel small. Whether with smaller schools, you can't make them any bigger. So that's what I've really liked about here. I'm really close to my advisor. Every time I go in there for an advising session, he actually makes me take a picture with him. So one time for Halloween, I came in and he was wearing a mask. It was so funny. But he's an amazing person who has helped me a lot. And so yeah, don't be afraid to take the resources that we have on campus. One of the really cool things that we have is that we have a career center, a tutorial center, and all of these are paid with your student fee. So when you come on campus, it's so good to take advantage of them. Our career center helps people with anything from resumes to mock interviews to just preparing for your future in any way that you can. Even if you don't know what you're doing in life, they like give you different assessments to see what would fit you and things like that. So they've been definitely helpful. I've gone to them for help for resume and several interviews. They've definitely helped a lot. And our tutorial center is actually very helpful as well. You can do everything from giving them papers so that they can review it and give you feedback, to actually having another student tell you about a class and tutoring you in a class, or just looking at somebody else's notes. Some students are actually paid to go in and take the class again if they've already made an A, and they get to take notes for everybody and actually explain things better as they understood it. So that has been really helpful. I know a lot of people are scared to go to the tutorial center, but it's okay to be a nerd here. Like it's more than welcome. And people actually, are inspiring, so they actually help a lot. We do have a question that says, will housing take into consideration the ages of people being put into dorm rooms together? I will be 21 when I start at state, and I would rather not be roommates with someone who is like 18. Trust me, I had that same question. Yes. So one of the really cool things that happens here when you're first coming in is that you're asked to take a questionnaire. Unless you already know who you want to room with, then you can just request each other. But other than that, you fill out a questionnaire, so you can kind of find someone who's a lot like you in a lot of different ways. It asks you for your age, do you like to listen to music while you study? Do you wake up early and things like that? And for you, I would definitely recommend the apartments on campus. Wolf Village and Wolf Ridge actually, it houses more of the upperclassmen than anything else on campus. So those are more, I guess, age appropriate, you could say, if you're looking for some, to be with older people. So that helps a lot. Other than that, if you get involved with being an RA, that's probably the only way you'll have to deal with 18-year-olds coming in. But yeah, other than that, I would definitely recommend looking into the apartment for that. But that's a good question though, because I know a lot of people wonder about that. Does anybody else have any other questions that we could help them with? I know one of the questions that I've gotten a lot too has been about, student health on campus. And we do have our own student health center with great doctors, great nurses, and it has a pharmacy as well. So anything you need, even if you already have your prescriptions and you need to get them filled, you can actually do that on campus. We do have insurance offered for those that don't have any. So if you do have insurance, great, you can just waive the school insurance. But for those that don't, you are required to have the school insurance through Blue Cross Blue Shield. But it comes in really handy. I know a couple of weeks ago I was really sick, and then I just went to them, made an appointment, went to them, had to pay a copay for some of my medications, but other than that, it was a breeze, no problems there, and I didn't have to pay like the huge bills, that I would normally get without insurance. So it definitely comes in handy, and you can actually walk to the student health center. It's right beside one of our student centers that we have. Um, so anything that's wrong, they're more than willing to help. And they have a lot of specialists that see people too. And if they don't have them here, they will refer you to someone. So yeah, it's really helpful to have that on campus. Um, any other problems that you have, you're more than welcome to just call them up and set up an appointment. But that is, yeah, probably one of the biggest questions that we've gotten besides everything else that we covered here today. Let's see. What's another thing that I can think of that's really important? Or if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I see them as soon as they come up, so it helps. We also, okay, one of the main questions, I guess, that helped me a lot was for online classes. While you're here, you can take a lot of classes on campus, but you also have the opportunity to take online classes. I know for me, I live, off campus, so coming to school every day, it's cool, but I don't want to be here all day. So this semester, I decided to take an online class, as well as last semester too. And it's really helpful for me. It takes more discipline out of people, yes, but at the same time, you get to do it at your own time. You have your assignment there, you know what you need to do, you know when it's due, and you just do it. So that has been really helpful for me. I'm taking forensic anthropology online, and I love it. It's so cool. Get to learn about so many cases, and about the human body. It's just awesome. But there's a lot of different ones that are offered online. So if you don't want to take it, a lot of times it's offered, on campus. But if you don't want to take it on campus, there is that option for you. But coming to class is also fun. Don't get me wrong. I've gotten to meet a lot of really great people, a lot of really cool classmates, and people in my major and outside of my major. And it's really cool to see that people outside of my major, come to take some classes in my major, because it shows that they're interested in something outside of just their own little perspective. So that's something that you see a lot of here at NC State. We try to embrace each other's world, each other's cultures, and that's something that I've really appreciated. I am a Latina, so that has been really important to me. And let's see. Well, we cover most of the big things. I'm trying to think of, anything else that you might be able to see. Oh, sometimes a lot of people worry about getting lost on campus, or, trying out the wolf line for the first time. So getting lost on campus might happen. I can't lie to you. For the first week, it might be a little tough, but we do have people that guide people here. We have Wolfpack Welcome Week for all of our, for like our new students, really. And you'll see people in neon shirts. I have a neon shirt from the past 2 years because I've been in the crew. And you have maps, and they'll tell you where you need to go, the fastest way to get there. This is why I say don't be shy, because you will need to ask questions, and people here are more than willing to help. So it definitely, just helps to not be shy and just actually ask them. For the wolf line, my advice is try to see which one's the closest to you. That we actually have an app on smartphones that you can use to see what wolf line you would be needing to take, where will it take you, and how long in proximity is to you. Or you can set an alert. Let me know when it's 10 minutes away, so you can actually, like, for me, I set it 10 minutes. I walk down my apartment, and then I wait for it. So that helps too. So once you find out, which one you actually do want to take or have to take, just go through one whole loop to see every stop that it has, to see where else it could take you. Don't be afraid to explore that way either, because that's how you learn a lot about Raleigh too. So that's one of the ways to not, try not to get lost the first week. Just actually explore it. My roommates actually took me to all of my classes the day before school started, so I was really lucky in that department. I didn't get lost at all, and most of my classes are in the same building, so it helped a lot. So yes, don't be scared to get lost. It's actually, I don't call it getting lost, I call it exploring because there's always something new to find here on campus. You can, just take a walk through the amazing gardens that we have. We even have a rose garden that's right across the street from Hillsboro. It looks beautiful during the summer. I go there to take pictures sometimes. So there's lots of find here, lots of places to eat, sometimes to shop too. So there's never a dull moment. And, those are some of the big things I can think of. Let's see, what else? I guess we could give you a fun fact. Um, the bell tower, which you see in the picture right there, is one of the really cool landmarks that we have here on campus. And we actually, it's the beginning, the start, and the end to the Krispy Kreme Run Challenge. So when you are a student here, I definitely encourage you to do it, even though I didn't. But it's been featured on ESPN as one of the top things you should do before you graduate. And what happens is that you start there, you run 2.5 miles down to the Krispy Kreme downtown, you eat a dozen donuts, and you run 2.5 miles back. And if you're doing it competitively, you can't throw up and you have to do it in under an hour. Yeah, that's why I didn't do it. But now more so than before, people are starting to do it a lot for fun. It does raise funds for the Duke's Children's Hospital, so it's for a really good cause. And people dress up, and jog it or walk it. I know one time one of the person that finished first did it in 35 minutes. No idea how. People train for this all year long. But yeah, I just went and watched. That's about it. People can also volunteer for those events, so it's really cool. And the bell tower also houses the senior rings before graduation or whenever you get your senior ring, and they leave them there overnight. It is a landmark that was created in honor of the World War I veterans. So it's an honor to have our rings spend the night there, and then we get them the next day. You have your own ring ceremony and everything. So it's really cool. One of the traditions that we love keeping here at NC State. We're very, very big on traditions, going to games, doing the Krispy Kreme Run Challenge, having the rings stay there, being part of events like Shackathon, which is to raise funds for Habitat for Humanity here in Wake County. People build shacks and spend the whole week in them. I've actually spent a few nights in the shack, and even though it was tiring, it was great. I got to be with a lot of really cool people throughout that week, and we raised a lot of money. I think in the past year we raised $26,000 for Habitat for Humanity just for Wake County. So you have the opportunity to be part of such big projects, and it's something that you definitely can't pass up. So let's see. Besides that, what is another aspect of my student life that I love? I guess just getting involved pretty much has been my favorite thing, to be honest. Like going studying abroad was one of the best things. I actually got my minor through my study abroad program. So one thing leads you to another, and next thing you know, you have one degree and two minors and a lot of experience to talk about at interviews. And like I said, I do graduate, in a few weeks, actually, May 9th. And a lot of my experiences here have prepared me for my next steps. A lot of people keep asking me, so what are you doing after you graduate? And I'm considering to going Teaching for America. And Teach for America is a program that is designed for a lot of whoever wants to get involved, really. But you go you go teach in a low income community for 2 years. So it's my little way of kind of like giving back to the community, even though I know teaching probably will change my life. So that's one of the things I'm considering. Besides that, I do have grad school, but it's a program in Africa, so my mom is not too happy about that at the moment. But either way, I'll probably end up doing that program. And it starts in Africa, ends in Italy, so I'm really excited about that. So just a matter of when I will do it. But I do want to work with nonprofits later in life. I want to work through a nonprofit that does community development, and I want to be a country director in another area. So being a part of, the NC State, the Wolfpack team, I guess, has helped me figure out my dreams and what I really like to do. I love my service. Service to people has always been my main goal, and the skills I have developed here have helped me realize how I can do that for people better. So yeah, it's definitely helped a lot, and just seeing the rest of my classmates, everything they're going to do, their plans after graduation, everything from the top law school programs in the nation to different grad school programs around the area. and others are having really, really good jobs from different corporations. So they all have something, lined up. So one of the really cool things here is that you're surrounded by people that actually want to achieve their goals. So even if you have like something really fun to do one day, but you have a test the next day and you tell people I have a test, like I really have to focus on this. People are okay with that. They're like, okay, that's fine. Like academics come first. That's why you're here. That's one of the main reasons I've loved being here. I've never had to put my academics aside to, I guess, strive in another part. I guess, like I said, you can become a very well-rounded person and still have, those high academics. I'm graduating with honors, so I can't complain at all. I've kept, my grades up because it is important to me to graduate. At least with honors, it was my most important thing. But still getting involved with a lot of other stuff. So you get to be really proud of yourself and everything you have accomplished. So don't be afraid to do that either. Don't be afraid to take pride in what you do. Um, but most of all, just don't be afraid to try something new. I'm not sure, what your majors are, but anything you do, just make sure that you love it. I love international studies. I love business, but not in the same way. I just loved accounting. I think that's what it was. But I love my international studies and all that. I've had the opportunity to study about so many different cultures and actually experience them for myself when I go abroad. And I hope to keep doing that. So, does anyone have any last questions they would like to ask before we finish? Remember, you can ask about pretty much anything at all. Student life, or maybe more on academics. Um, I know it's kind of like, oh, I feel like you just gave me a lot of information. I can't remember anything, but that's what I'm here for, to provide you with information. So yes, I know that was a lot of information that came your way, but it happens sometimes. And you can find all of this in our websites that we have. We do have a website just for housing and dining and campus, organizations. The housing website is actually really cool because it lets you take a virtual tour of any of the residence halls that are, here on campus. So in case you're not sure of what you want to do or where you want to live, you can do that and learn more about the living learning villages, all of them that we have, because we have a lot, not just the ones that I mentioned. And with dining, you can actually see up to the nutrition facts of like all the foods offered on campus. So it's really cool. And if you really, want to keep yourself healthy, we actually do have a nutritionist that you can see, and it's also included in your tuition fee. So they help you come up with a meal plan that you can do. What you should be eating. It's actually really cool that we actually have that. I love eating healthy, but unfortunately, I have not used the resource of our nutritionist. So it, it helps a lot, though. I know some students use it. Okay, we have a question. I am admitted as an environmental science, but I'm not sure if this is what I will enjoy in a career. Is there anyone there that can help me? One of my suggestions would be going to the career center, and first, after you experience a little bit of your classes, because a lot of the times you still have some general education courses to take through that major. So it would definitely help a lot for you to be able to see what it would really be like, not just as a major, as a career, but through NC State. Because I feel like one of my roommates, my older roommate, was an environmental science major, and she loved it. She actually ended up being valedictorian of her class, and she's now in grad school. But she did have a passion for everything. She actually put recycling paper. She's like, you make me sad when you don't recycle. So there's a lot of ways to get involved here. We have the sustainability office. One of the things I would recommend for environmental science is, if you do think that you might be interested, do a trip that has to do with that. We have a trip here that goes to Nicaragua, and they're actually involved with water preservation. And there's just so many different ways that you can try to see if that's your passion. But if you definitely think it's not, career services definitely helps, just because they give you a lot of different assessments. You get to talk to people, and that's one of the things that helps the most too. If there's something else that might interest you, talk to people that you know that are in that major, or like professors that teach these certain courses. Try to see, what else you can do to find more information about what else you could be good at, or like interested in, I guess you could say, because we can be good at pretty much anything. So yeah, definitely take the time, to try to get to know yourself a little better and try to see if that really is for you. But if you do want to continue in that, try to find, the way that you should approach it that will match for you. Because I know with international studies, there's so many different concentrations. You can concentrate on different countries, Southeast Asia, environmental studies and international studies. But for me, I love international politics. So I knew international relations, kind of had to be my focus. So try to see that, get involved with the different ways that you can see. Try to talk to other students in environmental science and see what is it that makes them passionate about that. So as long as you have, a passion in what you do, I think you'll be good to go. But yes, career center and talking to people, that has been one of the most helpful things for me. I know when I changed my mind about business, it was very, I guess, different from anything I had done before. I'm usually a set person and then I just do that. But I'm definitely glad I switched my major. And then if you do want to switch your major once you're here, it's not that difficult, depending on what college you are trying to, transfer into. But a lot of colleges have different requirements. But mine was just I had to take, I think, my political science courses. So you do want to make sure that you kind of align with that so that you don't have to take extra courses, or you don't fall behind on anything. But other than that, that's honestly what I suggest. Talking to people would probably be the first thing I would do. So, any other questions? We have a few more minutes. So, feel free to put some questions up there. Yeah, I don't think I see any more. Someone asked me if I saw, because I was squinting. I don't have my glasses on today. I'm like trying to see the questions. But yeah, one of the questions that people asked the other day is, what's your favorite thing to eat in Raleigh? Oh, but hold on, I think we actually have a question. So that we'll leave that for later. I am a transfer student. I am admitted to NC State. As I look at the courses at environmental sciences, there are courses that I have not taken at the community college. Is there a course substitution? So with that, I know there's an equivalency catalog that we do have to see, which courses are transferable. But with that, if there's some courses that you have not taken there, you would take them here. And that's as simple as that goes. I know there are some courses in my major that I had taken community college, as well as some general education courses that I still needed. And I just ended up taking those here too. So yes, so you can take those here. And any other courses that you might have to, maybe you started in another place but you have to get more in depth here, you might have to take those here as well. And they're usually really cool because, the professors here are so knowledgeable, very helpful. So it's, I don't know, I've enjoyed all my classes here so far. There's one professor that was really tough, but he's actually one of my favorites now because I learned so much from him. So yeah, so that's probably one of the things. But yeah, you would just have to take them here, and that's pretty much it for that one. All right, we have a few minutes left for any last minute questions. I'm not sure if anyone has anything else they want to ask, but other than that, like I mentioned, just make sure to get involved, stay on top of all of your academics. Time management here is really, really important, especially if you plan to get really involved. One of the things I do every day is I make a to-do list of everything I need to get done that day, and then I make a weekly to-do list of all of my assignments due. And if I get them done and I can get started on things for the week after, perfect. Then I don't have to worry about it then. I know a lot of students sometimes procrastinate, and that is one of the biggest downfalls, because if you have a 10 paper due, 10-page paper due, and you've known about it all semester, but you tend to do it 2 days before it's due, it doesn't really help. And then, at the beginning of the semester, you get syllabus for all your classes, so you know what you're going to do. Might as well, get some things out of the way, and then you don't have to worry about it later. And you can actually, if you do finish your paper or get a rough draft of it, you can take it to the tutorial center, get it looked at, make sure you get the best possible grade. And that's how you get really good grades, actually, by not procrastinating. Another thing I did is that I started a calendar. I have a very well color-coded calendar. My meetings are in orange, my classes are in black because they're set in stone. So yeah, I have a little bit of everything. Um, but it has helped me keep, everything in line. It has helped me maintain, my timely manner with assignments and things like that. So it definitely helps keep track of everything that you need here at school. And I definitely encourage that if you're going to get involved. And even if you're not going to get involved, keeping the to-do list is just always helpful. We have one more question. How long is the class at NC State? Because at community college, more classes are 2-3 hours long, and we meet 2 days a week. How many days do we meet at NC State? So that really depends on your classes. I've had some classes that, like for example, right now I have a film class that I have on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's from 10:15 to 12. So that's one of the longest classes I have. Usually classes are around 55 to 1 hour and 15 minutes. So yeah, 55 minutes to 1 hour and 15 minutes. So they're not incredibly long. We do have some 3 hour long classes, and those are mostly either seminar classes or some history courses. But it really just depends. So it's a little bit of everything. I have a great schedule right now. I have one class on Monday, Wednesdays, 3 classes Tuesday, Thursdays, and one class online. No Friday classes. So that's honestly like everyone's dream schedule. So I cannot complain at all. So it really depends on when you're looking at classes, what you want to do. You have the freedom to choose from a lot of different sections. So how you make your class schedule is really up to you. And then you do have online courses too. So I know PE courses are really short. My PE class is from 11:20 to 12:05. I have step aerobics Mondays and Wednesdays, so it's really awesome because then I just go to work. So it really depends on the classes, but you can come every day to school. I know some friends have all their classes on Tuesday, Thursdays, and then they just don't come to campus on Monday, Wednesday, Friday because they, are traveling. So for commuters, that's sometimes easy. I don't recommend it though because it can get really tiring to have five classes in one day, and then all of your assignments can be due on those days as well. So definitely try to spread it out. You can do morning classes and then work in the afternoon, or do work in the morning, classes in the afternoon. So you have the flexibility to pretty much make your schedule yours, and that's one of the really great things about here. So, alrighty. All right, we have one more question, and I think we have time for this. How about test schedules? So we do have, for every class, we have several midterms. Some classes don't have midterms and have papers. I've had both types. But other than that, we have finals, final seasons, which we are about to start. Once classes end, let me give you this semester, for example. Our classes end April 23rd. After April 23rd, we have 2 reading days. And reading days are days you don't have classes, you don't have pretty much anything. Those are your days to study. They're just designed for that. So you have time to kind of like relax a little, study a little, and then classes begin the week after that. Your tests are pretty much spread out. The most tests you can have in one day is 3. That has never happened to me. I will usually have, you have 2 weeks of testing, depends on your schedule. But I've had one test on a Monday, another test on a Wednesday, and then no test till the week after that. So you don't go to classes while you're testing. It's really just the test. And they give you 3 hours for each test. Some tests are from 8 to 11, from 1 to 4. So you have like really big opportunity to focus on that. Some teachers might not give you a final and will just give you your final test during the last week of school. And that can happen. That's happening with one of my classes right now. So after this last test, I don't have a final for that class, so I'm free to go. I'm free to not come back to that class. So it really depends on the teacher, but mostly we do have that. We do have that flexibility for that. And then if you finish with tests, you can actually just leave campus and just start your break early. So it's really cool. So test time is not really, it's stressful because you do have to study a lot, but you do have a lot of, time since you're not in classes. I think that was the last question. If you have any other questions that we can help you with, please feel free to email us at info@ncsu.edu. We're also available by phone. Our number is 919-515-2434. It has been great talking to you all. Hopefully you got a lot of information. But other than that, I hope you all have, an awesome day and go Wolfpack.